mother was a meth dealer and maker and user, so we were left home alone a lot. We had 3 break-ins that I remember where a lot of men with guns came into our house. They asked us a bunch of questions and they tore apart our house, and then police showed up and she ran from the police, which at that point was declared abandonment. We were taken into DHS care.
She was in the process actually of being moved to a new home when I was assigned the case. So she lived in a house in Beaverton. She wasn't there very long. It just wasn't probably the best place for her to be.
I was moved out into North Plains a year later, and then everything just happened.
She had gone, I guess, to a Safeway store with some friends, and one of them shoplifted. Candy bar. Manager caught him, and the kids were asked to call their parents. Well, she couldn't remember the phone number of this foster home that she lived in because she just moved there. And they actually arrested Kiersten. They handcuffed her and put her in a police car. How do you arrest a 12-year-old girl? How do you put those strips on a 12-year-old girl? That's not a normal path for a teenager. So she called and she said, they're gonna move me and I don't know where. And she gets taken to the Fields house that night.
Kiersten came to our house in the back of a cop car. It just started. It was chaos right from the start.
I was mean, and I did not listen, and I did what I wanted to do and didn't really care at the beginning who I hurt.
At the time, it was one of the hardest things that we've ever done in our life.
She was a tough teenager, but I think she was a tough teenager because she was in circumstances that normal teenagers aren't in.
Cindy brought history that we didn't know or couldn't read in paperwork.
Yes, paperwork can tell you a lot about a case, but that doesn't necessarily tell you really about me.
Typically, I'm the one that knows the whole story, and that's consistent across all of the CASA cases. You're the one that's talked to everybody. You're the one that's been there the longest. I have literally been in court and been the only person that knew what the dad looked like.
She would say, you know, Kiersten's really smart, but she's gone through this, and so I think this would be best for her.
So I think that Cindy really was there to advocate for me. Everyone else just wanted to advocate for what they thought that I needed, but she was there to really just sit down and listen to me and advocate for what I wanted. She advocated for so much for me that I don't know where I would be without her.
I can't stand it when people say, oh, those kids are so lucky to have you, because I think I'm really lucky to be able to have a relationship with these children for as long as I do. Right when she was going to turn 16 is when the foster family decided that they would adopt her. And then we had a conversation where I said, usually my job is over now, you've been adopted.
Even when I was adopted, never thought of her not being there. We text all the time. If I have a problem, even now, I'm like, can you help me with this? My daughter calls her Grandma Cindy.
They come over for barbecues sometimes now in the summer. We do the thing at Christmas together, so that's really fun.
When I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to be with kids. I wanted to help with kids. And I think that Cindy really helped shape that into my adulthood. Once I had somebody like her, I wanted to be that person as well. I've been at Head Start for 8 years now. I love being able to help families before the system has to come in. And I think that my history has been able to help me a lot. I can relate to parents a lot more. And so being able to explain that to parents from my point of view, I was neglected as a kid and grew up in foster care, and I still am successful and I'm still a great mom.
It's been a CASA 30 years. And I just think that I could honestly say I've always known I've made a difference. Maybe not what I wanted it to look like, but that it's maybe a little bit better than it was before.